Hello and welcome to this short training. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Sean Holden and I help business owners and coaches end self-sabotage so they can show better in business and make more money. Now, over the last year alone, we have helped over 100 people. Since I've been coaching, it'll be 4 years in February. I've helped well over 400 people. Now you know who I am. Let me tell you about what you can expect in this short training. So in this short training, I am going to explain to you why, if you are a brand new coach, that you shouldn't niche down. Now, I am very aware that the common advice for people who are newly certified or newly qualified coaches, the advice is to niche down immediately. So I want to run through some training as to why I think that's the wrong thing to do at the very beginning, what I think you should do instead. And I'm going to talk you through the exact step-by-step process that enabled me to make my first $20,000 in one single month. Now you know who I am, what to expect. Let's get into the training. So this training is called the Triple E method. Now, full transparency here, the reason it's called the Triple E method is because it's what I have learned retrospectively. Now, I have only been able to kind of recognize that this is the process that I have taken in order to grow. In fact, in order to start, grow, and scale my own coaching business. So let's jump on into it. So this is how I did my first 20K month. So I know it absolutely works 100%. Now, at the very beginning, what is it you need to do in order to become a good coach? You need to do lots of fucking coaching. That's it. At the very beginning, you need to do lots of coaching. If you want to become good at anything, you need to do lots of it. You want to become good at playing the guitar, you need to play the guitar lots of times. You want to become good at football, you need to play football lots of times. You want to become good at making YouTube videos, you need to make a lot of YouTube videos. Full stop, okay? So if I showed you an alternative option to grow your coaching business without niching down straight away, without paid ads, without feeling very, very sleazy, I have a question. Would that be helpful? So if you are watching this, I have a question for you. Like, I really want to kind of know and understand whether you've had this terminology thrown around that at the very beginning of becoming a coach, you need to niche down, and niche down. If you can relate to that, just let me know in the comment section. Just say me. So my question to those people that tell you to niche down is, how do you know what to niche down in when you have very little experience in solving problems, getting results, helping clients, and changing lives? Well, quite simply, you can't. You can't do it effectively, at least. So here's what to do instead. If you are a new coach, if you are experienced, if you already have your niche, if you are already kind of a specialist, if you've had 20, 30, 40, 50 different clients, this isn't going to be useful for you. It is only going to be useful for you if you are a new coach. So I've created the Triple E method. And the first E is explore. If you want to make the most out of this training, I would encourage you to make some notes here. So first E is explore. Now, when I first started coaching, again, it was 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years in Feb. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first started coaching, I literally just wanted to coach. I just wanted to help people. I wanted to support people. I wanted to serve people. I wanted to just be a coach. I thought, right, okay, I've got this skill set now. Let me kind of just go out into the world and start coaching. So at the very beginning, I started helping people with absolutely everything. So mental health, it was in the middle of COVID when I certified. Confidence, habits, personal development. Personal development was something that I absolutely loved and I still love now. And if you can't actually see it because the camera, but there's a bookshelf there full of books. I'm very interested in personal development, relationships, business. So these are all the kind of areas that I was exploring in. I was in the exploration phase, right? So I was exploring. When I say explore, I'm talking about exploring myself, exploring my skill set, exploring the different types of clients that I like to help, the different problems that I like to solve. And I wanted to kind of explore what I enjoyed doing, what I really love doing, and what maybe I wasn't too fond of doing, or maybe I felt I wasn't kind of qualified enough. So at the beginning, I just helped everyone, as you can see, with everything, right? This is the explore phase. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing this if you are a new coach. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing this at all. Now you'll see at the bottom here, I helped men and women, and I help children as well. So I really want to kind of illuminate this. I was just wanting to coach. I was just wanting to help. So because I was just wanting to coach and just because I was wanting to help, I was working with every single person, man, woman, and also children. Now you can see here, it says at the bottom, I helped about 20 to 30 people with this. And that's the truth. I helped around 20 to 30 people in this kind of process, right? So this was great for me because I was in my apprenticeship years as a coach. And I say apprenticeship years, apprenticeship period, if you like, because I didn't really know if I had anything of value to offer. So I just wanted to offer something to get that feedback, find out whether or not I was helping people, find out whether or not it was useful to people, and get that feedback from clients as to how specifically I help them. So that's the explore phase, right? Let me know in the comment section if you think you're kind of in that explore phase at the moment. Like maybe at the moment you're working with a handful of people, maybe you're helping, your neighbor, maybe you're helping someone in work, maybe you're helping somebody else, and those kind of handful of clients you've got, you're helping them all with different things. The second day is experiments. Now, this again, I was only able to kind of articulate retrospectively. So this second day is experiments. Now, you can see some of the things that I worked with my clients when I was in the explore phase, I have now kind of crossed them out. And I'm going to talk about why that is very shortly. But within this phase, this is what I call the experiment phase. This is now where, okay, you have a bit of an idea, a bit of an understanding as to who you like to help, who you feel equipped to help, who you feel you can help, who you get the best results for, and ultimately the clients that maybe you prefer not to work with. Again, it could be different to different people. I said here it was 20 to 30 people. Maybe for you it's 15 to 20. Don't stress too much about the number there. Okay, so now let's get into this. This experiment side, I was experimenting with my kind of skill set and I was experimenting with the data that I had collated based on all of the people that I'd helped. So let's go here. So mental health, interested. Now, I was of the belief when I was a brand new coach, I can help people. People are depressed, people have anxiety, I can help people. I quickly realized I can't help those people. In fact, let me change that. I can help those people, but just because I can doesn't mean I should. And what I mean by that is there were people that were struggling with mental health. And yeah, of course, we can help them, like kind of maybe implement better habits, asking them the right questions, kind of supporting them, open up that space. But the reality is the best type of intervention for people struggling with mental health illnesses or disorders, I don't believe as coaches, unless you're an expert, like a real specialist within that kind of area. And I, for one, wasn't, and I don't claim to be now. I would kind of rather speak with somebody, and if they tell me they're struggling with their mental health, I would rather push them towards a clinician, a therapist, a counselor, etc. So mental health, no. I was like, no. Confidence, well, I just thought to myself, well, confidence seems quite vague, right? Like confidence in what? In their business, in their relationship, in their health? Like confidence is very vague. And I was like, no, I don't want to help people with just generic confidence. Again, it's just not for me. Maybe it's for you. Cool. No judgment here. Habits. Well, I am of the belief that habits are the foundation in behavior change. If you want to change your life, you need to change your habits. So I thought, okay, I can continue doing this. Personal developments, you can see personal developments is still there. Again, I am very fond of personal development, so I continued helping people with personal developments. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Relationships. Now, I quickly realized that I wasn't in the best relationship myself at the time. So I didn't feel qualified to support someone else in relationships when, quite frankly, my relationship at the time was a mess. And then I quickly came out of that relationship and realized, okay, well, the reason the relationship was a mess was ultimately down to myself. So I didn't feel equipped to help people with a problem that I was facing myself. That just doesn't sit right with me. It's almost as if kind of somebody being a business coach and struggling to grow their business, someone being a porn coach and struggling with porn, someone being a alcohol or addiction coach and struggling with alcohol or addiction. Like for me, it's everything that's wrong with the coaching industry. So no, that's not for me. Then you can see here, it says business. Now, obviously I pop business down here. And that was because I, believe it or not, I actually really just enjoyed speaking with people about business. I wasn't particularly experienced within business, but I was experienced at this point in working with people. So what I started to do is I started just helping people. And what tends to happen at that point was I was working with people who were business owners. And that just happened, right? So I was like, okay, let's keep going. I enjoy doing that. Now, self-forgiveness. This is really interesting. So self-forgiveness, remember we're in the experiment phase. So self-forgiveness for me, I was in that situation where I was experimenting with different niches at this point. I was like, am I the personal development coach? Am I the habit coach? I can't be the business coach. Self-forgiveness, I created a video on YouTube and it went bananas. It's still probably one of the most watched videos on my channel right now. And I thought to myself, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what I do. Maybe I am the self-forgiveness coach. Maybe I'm the self-forgiveness guy. So at this point, I thought to myself, let's give it a go. I remember, I think I changed my YouTube. I think I changed quite a lot thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to become the self-forgiveness coach. I'm going to become the self-forgiveness guy. Now, at this point, you can see and we'll come back to this shortly, the self-forgiveness. So at this point, you can see I was working with men and women and I stopped working with children. I just thought, I don't feel I can get the best results with children. And I also found, and this isn't just a generalization, the children I were working with, they weren't the best type of children to be working with. They were challenged children, they were troubled children. Fair play, the parents were trying to do the best. But let's be honest, I just wasn't equipped enough to help kids. I don't have any kids of my own. I'm not a teacher. Again, maybe this is a cool niche to go into. If you're a teacher, we can talk more about that later. So I helped about 30 to 45 people with these things. This was in the experiment phase. So now I want to just know as well, like if you're watching this training, who can relate to this? Do you feel you're kind of in the experiment phase? Just pop it down below. If you feel you're in the experiment phase, just say experiment. Now, this is the third E. The third E is exploit. Now, what I really want to drive home here is exploit has a really negative connotation attached to it. Now, what we are doing here, and it's really important that I drive this home, we are not exploiting our clients. And I feel I need to really drive this home. What we are doing at this point is we are exploiting our skill set as a coach. We are exploiting the knowledge that we have gained. We are exploiting the data that we have accumulated throughout going through the explore and the experiment phase. We aren't exploiting our clients. We are exploiting our skill set as a coach. Now, the exploit phase. So within this kind of phase, as I said, I won't dive into the exploit because we don't need to, but you can see mental health, no; confidence, no; habits, still; personal development, still; business, still. Now you can see the self-sabotage. We actually changed from self-forgiveness to self-sabotage. Now, the reason we changed from self-forgiveness to self-sabotage is very simple. It's because nobody wakes up in the morning and thinks, oh, I need to forgive myself for my past mistakes. So I recognized this within the marketing. The self-forgiveness stuff wasn't landing. No one was like, oh my God, Sean, I need to forgive myself. No one was doing that. People were, though, waking up thinking, I need to stop self-sabotaging. I need to stop repeating self-sabotaging patterns and behaviors. I need to stop self-sabotaging my health, my relationships, my business, etc. Now, at this point, you will be able to see that we stopped working with men and women and we only worked with business owners. Okay. And then at this point, I had helped around 87 people with these particular things. So 87 business owners I helped. And this is because I was in the exploit phase. So I want you to now let me know in the comment section who can relate to this. Who thinks they're in the kind of exploit phase? Again, just write in the comments, exploit. Now, here's the kind of the triple E method, just all out in its glory, okay? So you can see here the explore phase, the experiment phase, and the exploit phase. Now, once I was in this kind of exploit phase, this is when I then decided, okay, this is my niche. I have learned what I am good at. I have learned the people that I can help. I have learned who I get the best results for. So this was where I then decided, okay, now we niche down. Okay. Now you can see here, I helped 20 to 30 people. Then I helped 30 to 45 people. So I helped 70 odd people with different bits and pieces before I even realized what I needed to niche down on. That's a lot of people. Some people don't even coach that many people in like 2 or 3 years. And I did that in less than 12 months. Okay. So this, as I said, is when I decided to niche down. So my current offer is I help business owners end self-sabotage so they can show better in business and make more money, right? Look at this. And I really want to drive this home. This is the exploit phase. This is where I said, this is where you niche down. So I help business owners end self-sabotage, okay? So they can show better in business and make more money, right? I want to say that again. I help business owners end self-sabotage so they can show up in business and make more money. Now, the way in which we help our clients end self-sabotage is through our 3R framework, which has elements of self-sabotage, self-forgiveness, and conscious behavior refinements, which is changing your behaviors. Okay? Self-sabotage, self-forgiveness, and conscious behavior refinements, which we can say it's a bit more kind of nuanced, but it's habits, okay? And the whole process, it's a process of personal development. So here's how you can see I have literally taken everything from here and created my own offer, created my niche based on the people that I've helped, based on the data that I have, based on my skill set, my knowledge, my area of expertise, okay? So I have a question. What phase do you think I got to my first 20K month in? Just pop it in the comment section. Was it explore, experiment, or exploit? My first $20,000 month. Was it in explore, experiment, or exploit? Well, it was in the experiment phase. You can see here, June, I made £15,917.80, which is 20,000 at the time. Was $20,289. I have no idea what it is to this day. This was done back in March of this year. That was when I did the conversion. Now, the reason I'm driving that home is because you do not need to niche down to make $20,000. You do not need to do that. I sincerely mean that. You do not need to do that. Now, I made £15,917.80 in June, and I was like, wow. Okay, I didn't think this was possible. I remember, I think I quit my job in March. I had a record month in April, then I had a record month in May, and I had a record month in June. And that was the record month. It was 20K. I didn't spend money on ads. I didn't kind of do anything out of the ordinary. I just spoke with people, helped solve problems, offered up support, asked people if they wanted to be coached, delivered as much value as I possibly could. So much so that these people that I was working with referred other people over, they renewed with me, etc. So I just want to know kind of now, based on what you've seen, what phase do you think you're in? Explore, experiment, or exploit? Now, I just want to run through this with you really quickly. The truth is, people will forever tell you what you should be doing. Niche down, run ads, do YouTube, don't do Facebook, only do video, use LinkedIn, etc. Every single person has an idea of how you should grow your coaching business. But I'm here to tell you that there's more than one way to run a successful coaching business? There 100% is. There isn't just a one size fits all. Yes, there are plenty of ways that can work, but at the very beginning, you do not need to be stressing, worrying, and becoming anxious about niching down. If your goal is to become a really good coach, then just focus on doing that. Just focus on coaching people. If your goal is to make a lot of money, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that, then yes, absolutely niche down, because that's where you can make the most money. But again, what I will say is niching down too early can be a form of self-sabotage, because then you become really rigid. You might niche down in the wrong niche and might not even enjoy it. And then because you're niching down, you run the risk of not trying something else, and you might potentially miss the opportunity of trying a niche that you enjoy more, that you can provide more value. And last thing you want, let me tell you now, and I've seen this happen over and over and over again, is for you to get into a niche, grow it, and I mean scale it 20, 30, 40, 50 months, 50K months, and absolutely hate the business and the clients that you work with. I spoke with someone not so long ago who was running a business doing 100K a month. And he said to me, I hate my business. And I couldn't wrap my head around that. It just didn't make any sense, because why would you build a business that you then begin to hate? Just can't wrap my head around it. So I really want to illuminate this. As you all evolve on your coaching journey, so will your offer and so will your niche. My niche right now will always be evolving. It will always be evolving. We'll be looking at ways we can improve it, ways we can make it better. Do we need to shorten it? Do we need to kind of maybe add some stuff? My offer and my niche will always be evolving, as will I as a coach. So I hope that this training, this Triple E method, simply reminds you that where you are right now does not mean that's where you have to be forever. I really mean that. You will all change as human beings, and as a result, your business will change too. So that's it from me today. I would love it if you could let me know what you've been able to take away from today's training. It'd be really helpful if you could just give me some feedback down below. And if you do have any questions, you can just kind of scan the barcode. If you're watching this on a laptop, use your phone. Otherwise, you can reach me on Instagram, which is Sean_Holden_life coaching. As you already know, I help business owners and coaches end self-sabotage so they can show better in business and make more money.